polaznike treće generacije Ljetne škole Domovina, koji u organizaciji Središnjeg državnog ureda za Hrvate izvan Hrvatske borave u Hrvatskoj.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, it gives me great pleasure to host the third generation of the Birthright Domovina program, organized by the Croatian State Office for Croats Abroad.
Za širu javnost informacija, radi se o mladim pripadnicima hrvatskog iseljeništva koji kroz ovo iskustveno putovanje osnažuju svoje poveznice s Hrvatskom.
For information for the general public, these are the young Croat descendants of immigrants who are using this experience to strengthen their ties with Croatia.
Uvodno ću zamoliti da nam se obrati ministar vanjskih i europskih poslova Gordan Grlić-Radman. Izvolite.
Hvala lijepa, poštovani gospodine predsjedniče. Dragi mladi hrvatski, potomci hrvatskih iseljenika, i drago mi je da vas mogu isto ovdje pozdraviti u Hrvatskoj, u domovini vaših predaka.
Dear guests, dear descendants of Croatian immigrants, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you here in the homeland of your ancestors.
Kada sam vidio od kuda sve dolazite, i onda sam zapravo evocirao i vlastite sjećanje i uspomene, jer sam obišao sve zemlje iz kojih vi dolazite.
When I saw all the countries that you are coming from, this was an opportunity for me to evoke my own memories because I have visited all of them.
Čak čini mi se da sam nekima uručio i rješenje o primitku u hrvatsko državljanstvo.
I have an impression that I did hand some of you the certificate of Croatian nationality and citizenship.
Sjedinjene Američke Države, Kanada, Australija, New Zealand, Argentina, Čile, Peru, Brazil.
US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Chile, Peru, Brazil.
Ali naravno i ovdje je Europa, ima isto i dvoje, isto tako iz Irske.
And we also have two participants from Ireland, from Europe.
Ono što vam samo želim kratko reći, ja sam isto živio u iseljeništvu, ali nisam se rodio. Kada sam razgovarao s vama ili sa generacijom vaših roditelja i djedova, jer vi ste treća, četvrta, peta, možda čak i šesta generacija, onda sam osjetio hrvatsko srce u njihovim venama. Iako nisu znali govoriti hrvatski, ali imali su snažan osjećaj pripadnosti hrvatskom narodu.
So when I spoke to some of your parents or grandparents, because I'm sure that now you are fourth, fifth, or even sixth generation of immigrants, I felt a strong Croatian heart beating in them. And although some of them did not speak Croatian, I could feel a very strong sense of belonging to the Croatian nation.
I samo ću vam kratko reći, jer sigurno će predsjednik Vlade vam puno više govoriti, koliko su me se dojmili riječi kad su rekli, znate, ministre, naši su preci dolazili ovdje tužni, jadni, neslobodni, u potrazi za boljim životom, a mi sada, njihovi potomci, želimo doći u Hrvatsku, slobodnu, neovisnu, s međunarodnom reputacijom. Hrvatska, čija je nakon Japana druga putovnica najsigurnija u svijetu, želimo živjeti u toj prekrasnoj domovini, domovini naših predaka, koja je i naša domovina.
And I have to say that I was impressed and moved when I heard them say, you know, Minister, our ancestors left Croatia and came to a foreign country. They were sad, they were unfree, and they were looking for a better life. And now we can talk to their descendants who are coming to Croatia, which is a free country, which is independent, which is a part of the international community. And after Japan, it has the second safest passport in the world. And we are very happy to welcome you in our free nation.
Hvala lijepa, dobrodošli u zemlju koja je istina mala veličinom, ali ima veliko srce veličine cijeloga svijeta. Hvala vam.
So thank you and a warm welcome to a country which may be small in size, but it has the heart of the world.
Zahvaljujemo ministru Grliću Radmanu. Sada ćemo zamoliti gospođu Croacijanu Gregurić, predstavnicu Središnjeg državnog ureda za Hrvate izvan Hrvatske i voditeljicu projekta Ljetna škola Domovina, da nam se obrati. Izvolite.
Thank you, Minister of Foreign and European Affairs. And now to the floor, Ms. Croacijana Gregurić from the Central State Office for Croats Abroad.
Poštovani predsjedniče Vlade, gospodine Plenkoviću, poštovani ministre Grliću Radmanu, poštovani predsjedniče Ureda Frka Petešiću. U ime Središnjeg državnog ureda za Hrvate izvan Republike Hrvatske i u ime državnog tajnika Zvonka Milasa zahvaljujem vam na ovoj prilici što ste primili polaznike 3. generacije Ljetne škole Domovina. Ovdje ovaj susret predstavlja najsnažniju dobrodošlicu koju su mogli zamisliti.
Prime Minister Plenković, Minister Grlić Radman, Mr. Frka Petešić, on behalf of the State Central Office for Croats Abroad and Secretary Mr. Milas, I would like to thank you for welcoming the 3rd generation of the Birthright Domovina program, and I believe that this is the strongest welcome that they could have received in Croatia.
Cilj ovog projekta je osnaživanje veza povezanosti mladih pripadnika hrvatskog iseljeništva sa Hrvatskom i to sa suvremenom Hrvatskom kroz prilike koje Republika Hrvatska koja im omogućava od učenja hrvatskog jezika, studiranja do mjera potpore samozapošljavanju koje su prisutne za pripadnike hrvatskog iseljeništva.
The aim of this program is to strengthen the ties of young Croat descendants who are given different opportunities in Croatia in terms of learning the language, studying here, or even receiving support for self-employment.
Polaznici dolaze iz Južne i Sjeverne Amerike, Australije i Europe, potječu iz različitih dijelova Hrvatske i Bosne i Hercegovine, pripadaju različitim migracijskim valovima. Međutim, ovdje su ujedinjeni u želji da se osjećaju kao jedan nedjeljivi dio hrvatskog naroda.
Our participants come from South and North America, from Australia and from Europe. They come from different parts of Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Their parents and grandparents do, but they are here because they want to show that they are inseparable part of Croatia.
Stoga mi dopustite da još jedanput zahvalim Vladi Republike Hrvatske na podrški ovom projektu i cijeloj hrvatskoj dijaspori u tim nastojanjima.
I would like to thank once again the Croatian government for extending their support to Croatian diaspora in their efforts.
Hvala.
Zahvaljujemo gospođi Croacijani Gregurić na njezinom izlaganju. Sada ćemo zamoliti polaznika 3. generacije Ljetne škole Domovina, gospodina Daniela Marina Šangu, da nam se također obrati.
Daniel, the floor is yours.
Dobar dan, Prime Minister Plenković, esteemed members of the Croatian government, participants of the Domovina program, ladies and gentlemen. Zovem se Daniel Marin Šango, and I'm truly honored to have been given this opportunity to speak on behalf of the Domovina program and my fellow participants.
Dobar dan.
As you may be able to tell from my accent, I'm from Australia, Melbourne specifically. I'm an admitted lawyer in Australia and currently work as an associate at the Supreme Court of Victoria. My journey with Hrvatska begins with 4 young Croatians. Zorka Gović of Otak Krapan, Frane Antelos of Zablače, Hozana Pesha of Zaton, and Nedilko Šango of Privlaka, my grandparents. Between 1959 and 1970, they all left Croatia seeking better opportunities. As you can see, I'm a true Dalmatian, and my family will be very proud that I've made it in Zagreb. A couple of years ago, I asked my Baba Zorka, "Zašto, Baba? Why did you leave your home?" She responded, "Because, Dušo, I wanted to be free." The importance of this moment is not lost on me. To stand in this place, the Banski Dvori, which houses the Croatian government and the great barns of years past, is incredibly humbling. The country my grandparents left all those years ago is not the one I see before me today. My grandparents and my father were born into a country which only knew the rule of kings, emperors, and dictators. Yet what I see before me today and now is a vibrant nation, one which is no longer clasped by the shackles of totalitarianism, but one which is imbued with the power and majesty of democracy. It is a profound change, but it is a change we are all truly grateful and proud of. Now, growing up, I was fortunate enough to visit Croatia as a child and as an adult. With every subsequent trip, I've seen Croatia progress as a nation. This change is visible in the new infrastructure which has been constructed, but also in the economic opportunities for its people. From Australia, I can see that the standard of living in Croatia is reaching parity with my own country. It is inspiring to see Croatia continually improve. On behalf of those diaspora that regularly visit Croatia and have bore witness to this measurable progress, we thank you, Prime Minister Plenković, and your government. We know that this is the result of the government's commitment to modernising the country and its promotion of Croatia's Western values. In Australia, we have a strong Croatian community. For this community, it is refreshing to see Croatia and Australia aligned on global issues such as the war in Ukraine. The support that Croatia has provided to Ukraine is visible even all the way in Australia. From my Australian perspective, this serves as further evidence that Croatia has well and truly established itself as part of the Western world and plays a significant role in European politics. When I listen to my family's stories of Croatia before 1991 and see how the country has transformed from being embroiled in international conflict to being a stakeholder in international solutions, the change could not be more stark, and it is something that makes us all very proud and grateful. As members of the diaspora, what has also been heartening to see is this government's initiative to reconnect with Croatians abroad. And this is what brings us here today. The Domovina program has been an eye-opening experience, which has highlighted to us that our Croatian background is something that connects us to other young Croatians around the world. Though we herald from different countries and continents, we share similar values, and this has forged an unbreakable connection. On this program, we've seen many beautiful places and met many Croatians who are dedicated to improving this nation. Of particular note, our group had the opportunity to meet General Josip Lusic. This was inspiring. We gained a better understanding of the homeland war and Croatia's political and economic situation in 1991. As I mentioned earlier in this speech, I'm currently living and working in Melbourne and must return at the end of this program, though if I had it my way, I'd never leave the beautiful Croatian summer. However, upon my return, I will have been entrusted with a new responsibility. That is, a commitment to strengthening the connection between Croatia and its young diaspora in Australia. Our global community is overflowing with talent and potential, as can be seen behind me here. It is vital that we do all that we can to better connect our community with our homeland. It is evident that the government has worked tirelessly to reconnect the diaspora community with Croatia, whether it be through the Domovina program or the language learning programs in Croatia at its universities. The measures this government is taking to attract Croatians to return are extensive, and for that we are thankful. I can also confirm that it's working on me particularly well. You are doing your part. Now it is time for us to do ours. Prime Minister Plenković, thank you once again for hosting us all today and for giving us this opportunity to meet you. Thank you to the Domovina program organisers and to my fellow participants for making this experience so special and rewarding. Finally, I'd like to thank my parents, Vilma and Marino Shango, and my brother Matthew Shango, for supporting me on this journey. Ovo mi je velika čast. Hvala vam.
Hvala Danielu na njegovom inspirirajućem i emotivnom obraćanju. Sada ćemo zamoliti za kraj naše svečanosti da se obrati predsjednik Vlade Andrej Plenković.
Hvala lijepa Marko. Što ćemo? Hrvatski, engleski? Šta vam više paše? Hrvatski, pa će biti duže. Evo, gospodine ministre, poštovani i dragi naši mladi Hrvati koji ste na ovom sjajnom programu Ureda za Hrvate izvan Hrvatske, koji se zove Ljetna škola Domovina, prije svega dobrodošli kući i dobrodošli u Vladu Republike Hrvatske.
So thank you. Minister, young Croats, participants of this wonderful, excellent program, Domovina Birthright Program, welcome home and welcome to the government of the Republic of Croatia.
Zaista ste lijepo govorili, emotivno i na neki način ste sintetizirali sve ove osjećaje koje svi vi imate kada dođete u domovinu, pogotovo što ste zaista, kao što je ministar rekao, vjerojatno pripadnici druge, treće, četvrte, pete, šeste generacije Hrvata koja dolazi iz prekooceanskih zemalja.
Thank you for a very emotional speech, and I would say that it summarizes the emotions and feelings most of you have when you come here. As Minister said, you are the descendants of the second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth generation of Croats that have left Croatia.
Ali ono što je najbitnije, veže vas ista ljubav prema domovini i veže nas naš hrvatski identitet.
But what ties you to our country, it is the love of one's homeland and Croatian identity.
I upravo stoga moram pozdraviti sve aktivnosti koje radi i gospođa Gregurić i naravno gospodin Milas koji je danas u Bosni i Hercegovini, ja mislim da je danas pa nije sa nama, ali cijeli tim aktivnosti koji nastoji otvoriti današnju slobodnu, demokratsku, modernu, suvremenu Hrvatsku Hrvatima, osobito novim generacijama koji žive dosta daleko od i Hrvatske i Europe.
I believe that it is very important what has been done by Mrs. Gregorić, by Mr. Milas, who is, I believe, in Bosnia and Herzegovina today, and the entire team in trying to open up Croatia, which is today free, democratic, modern country, to the new generations of Croats that live all over the world, some of them very far away from Croatia.
I upravo zbog toga ovakvi programi imaju više ciljeva. Prvo, da vi osvijestite što je današnja Hrvatska, jer nije isto je vidjeti iz prve ruke i slušati je od vaših roditelja ili baka i djedova.
So these programs have different aims, many of them. The first one is definitely for you to understand what Croatia is like today, because it is different to hear it from your parents or grandparents, from experiencing it firsthand.
Drugi je da vas potakne da u budućnosti u razvoju vaših i obiteljskih, ali i poslovnih životnih puteva držite tu vezu sa Hrvatskom živom i dinamičnom.
The second goal is to inspire you to, in your professional and private endeavors in the future, to keep the strong ties to Croatia alive.
Treće je da neke od vas potakne da izdvojite još malo vremena pa da i usavršite hrvatski jezik.
Perhaps it will inspire some of you to improve your Croatian language.
Mi smo ove godine donijeli po prvi put u povijesti zakon o hrvatskom jeziku.
This year we have passed for the first time in history the law on the Croatian language.
Što je važan iskorak upravo za njegovanje naše kulture, naše tradicije, naših vrijednosti, naše povijesti i naravno ponovno identiteta.
And this is an important first step to nurture our culture, tradition, values, history and our identity.
I kada bi samo te tri točke bile pozitivni ishod vašeg boravka u Hrvatskoj, to je već sjajno.
And if these three goals were in fact met after your visit to Croatia, that would be excellent.
Ono što mi je drago da sam čuo da ste bili u Dubrovniku, da ste bili u Sinju, da ste iz Sinja malo vidjeli Dalmaciju, da ste sada u Varaždinu, da obilazite sjever Hrvatske.
I've heard that you have visited Dubrovnik, Sinj, that you got familiar with Dalmatia. Now you have visited Varaždin and you are now visiting the north part.
I to je jako dobro da steknete cjelinu dojma o domovini koja je uvijek jedinstvena i nedjeljiva kao i odnos domovinske i iseljene Hrvatske, ali je bitno različita po regijama.
This is very good opportunity for you to understand your homeland in all its differences, because the regions are different, although the country of course stayed united and inseparable.
I mislim da je prigoda da kažem nekoliko riječi o tome gdje je Hrvatska danas.
And I believe this is a good opportunity for me to tell you a few words where Croatia is today.
Vi ste lijepo kazali, kad god ste došli u Hrvatsku vidite napredak.
You said yourself, whenever you come to Croatia, you see progress.
Pa ovaj napredak koji zajedno radimo ovih proteklih godina je zaista velik. On je prije svega usmjeren i na daljnju demokratizaciju i na daljnji ekonomski i socijalni razvoj Hrvatske.
So the progress that we have been engaged in the last couple of years has really been great, and it is focused on further democratization and economic and social development of Croatia.
Mi smo bacili sidro u samo srce Europske unije.
We have thrown an anchor in the very heart of the European Union.
Postali smo u zadnjih par godina i dio zemalja koji su u eurozoni i u šengenskom prostoru.
So we have joined the Eurozone recently and the Schengen area.
Bićemo za godinu i pol dana članica zadnje globalne organizacije koju možemo pristupiti. To je Organizacija za ekonomsku suradnju i razvoj sa sjedištem u Parizu, OECD.
And in the year and a half, we will become a part of the last global organization that we have yet to become a member of, which is the OECD with the headquarters in Paris.
I kad se to kompletira, onda ćemo reći da je Hrvatska od presudnih prekretničkih godina 89. i 90. za cijeli europski kontinent do kraja ovoga desetljeća zaokružila sve svoje ključne nacionalne zadaće.
And when all these elements are put into one whole picture, we can say that after the years of 1989 and 1990, which were a threshold for Croatia, by the end of this decade, we will have met all our international tasks.
I national tasks. National. Both international and national. Zašto to govorim? Zato što imamo državu koju samostalno nismo imali 900 godina.
Firstly, this is because we have an independent state which we did not have for 900 years.
Zato što imamo slobodu i demokraciju.
Secondly, we have freedom and democracy.
Što smo dio zapadnog svijeta i njegovih vrijednosti u svojoj punini, dakle i NATO-a i Europske unije, OECD-a.
Also because we are part of the Western world in its entirety and in its institutions, the EU, the NATO and the OECD.
I ono što nam ostaje kao zadatak da perfektuiramo kvalitetu života i institucija u zemlji.
And what is ahead of us is simply perfecting the quality of life and the quality of institutions in our homeland.
Naravno da postoji problemi.
Of course there are problems.
Glavni, ključni problem hrvatskog društva je pitanje pada prirodnog priraštaja.
And the key problem in Croatian society is the decline in birth rate.
Demografska revitalizacija, zato je glavni prioritet naše treće vlade.
And that's why demographic revitalization is a priority of our government, which has now in its third term in office.
Jer vi ste svi potomci različitih generacija i valova iseljavanja kada nas je bilo puno više.
Because you are all descendants of different generations and different waves of migrations when there were at the time when there was many of us, much more than today.
I to u dva bazena, hrvatski, stricto sensus bazen i bazen Hrvata u Bosni i Hercegovini, odakle siguran sam dio vas potječe.
And we're talking about the two pools, one in Croatia and the other one in Bosnia and Herzegovina. I'm sure some of you come from where you.
U ranijim vremenima bila jedna izreka, kaže Hercegovina sve naseli, a sebe ne raseli.
There used to be a saying about Herzegovina in the past that it migrated everywhere all over the world, but it did not lose its inhabitants.
Yeah. To inhabit others but not desert oneself.
Okay.
Sada to više ne vrijedi ni tamo.
Now this is not the case, not even in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Zato što imamo smanjenje populacije i Hrvata u Bosni i Hercegovini.
This is because we have a decline in the number of population in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
I to je problem cijele Europe danas kao zaista staroga kontinenta.
And this is the problem that Europe as the old continent faces today.
I zato je poveznica sa vama kao sa mladim Hrvatima koji su ujedno i državljani vjerojatno i drugih država i prigoda da možda i neki od vas odluče se i vratiti i živjeti u domovinu.
So this strengthening our ties with you is an opportunity for young Croats such as you who are probably citizens of other countries to perhaps use the opportunity and to come back to your homeland.
Evo, odmah dva primjera koja znam. Evo, Zvonko je Hrvat iz Pariza koji se rodio u Francuskoj pa se vratio, pa je sad šef moga ureda.
So 2 examples, Zvonko, who is the head of my cabinet, who came from Paris, where he was born.
Ana Marija, koju ste vidjeli tamo, koja je Hrvatica iz Kanade, isto je došla ovdje i vratila se i živi tu. Isto je radila u Vladi. Dobro,
Ana Marija, who came from Canada, returned and also worked in the government.
I ministar je došao iz Švicarske.
And minister came from Switzerland.
Uglavnom, bilo bi lijepo da neko od vas možda kasnije, kako će ga životni put nositi, odluči se i vratiti u domovinu, jer mi smo uvijek zainteresirani za to, a i vjerujem da ćemo ovaj boravak ovdje omogućiti jedan dobar i realan dojam zemlje. Drago mi je da ste zadovoljni, da imate odličan program, a ako neko od vas odluči ostati, mi ćemo ga primiti širokih ruku.
That's why I would hope that some of you will maybe consider returning to your homeland. I'm very happy to hear that you're satisfied with the program, and I believe that this stay in Croatia gave you a good impression of the country. And if any of you, in fact, decides to stay here, we will be more than welcoming.
Eto, želim vam dobrodošlicu još jednom. Pripremili smo vam neke male poklone da imate za uspomenu, pa čak i u ovoj zgradi jednu monografija Banskih dvora, da malo vidite njenu povijest i sadašnjost i da sa sobom ponesete uspomene na ovaj susret u Vladi. Hvala vam lijepa i drago mi je da ste tu.
So thank you again. Welcome again. We have prepared some presents for you. One of them is a book about this very building so that you can understand its history better. And we are very happy to have been able to welcome you here. Thank you.
Zahvale predsjedniku Vlade na njegovom sveobuhvatnom govoru i poticajnim porukama vama kao mladim pripadnicima hrvatskog iseljeništva. Sada ćemo vas zamoliti za zajedničku fotografiju prije, naravno, uručenja prigodnih poklona. Hvala vam svima na dolasku. Evo.
So thank you again for coming. Thank the Prime Minister for the inspiring speech. We will have a family photo now first.